Well, I think REACH has impacted the homeless population so that they have a safe place to be, and especially during cold weather. And I think that it's also impacted the volunteers who work there, because people want to help, but they have to have a way to help that they can, in an organization that can be trusted. And I think they found REACH as that organization.
I'd say over the past 25 years, REACH's impact has been on congregations of worshiping faith communities. We've had churches coming up with meals for us during the cold weather shelter season. We've had congregations coming in to provide hospitality. And in all those ways, that has had an impact. And you thought I was going to say an impact on poor people. But it's had an equal and opposite impact upon the people that come out to be in relationship with people that are seeking some solace and some way to get their lives back together.
Of the many people, perhaps over 1,000 people that got in touch, I would say people who are contributors to society financially and put people in touch with those that are not able to be self-supporting and are dependent on society.
The biggest misconception is that the homeless people in the community cause the trouble and that the homeless people bring it on themselves. We all make poor decisions, of course, but I think it's often the series of circumstances that happen to somebody in a short time, and also that can happen to any of us. And many people are eager to resolve their homelessness, and I think that many people do not understand that.
People in poverty, that they're not a whole lot different than ourselves. They haven't had all the opportunities that perhaps we've had, but when we get down to the personal level, people trying to put their lives together, they suffer the same kinds of stresses when their families break apart as we do. But I think the misconception that REACH is taking to heart, which is the most serious one, is that what people that are in poverty really want for their lives. The misconception that we see portrayed most often is that people really don't care that much about the community they live in. But when we sit down with people that have been receiving REACH's services, what we find is that they very much want to see Hagerstown thrive. And so we're about working together with people in poverty to see if we can achieve a vital and thriving Hagerstown community.
I think a common misconception is this, that if they wanted to, they could fix it themselves. And the truth of the matter is, when you don't have friendships and you don't have connections, sometimes it's a vicious cycle. And a person may do better, and then they may do worse. But I don't always think that people understand how difficult it can be when you hit the bottom and you have no resources and you have no connections. And that is what has to change in the community. And our effort is just as important to do that as it is to help the people that are directly in need.
That a lot of people were looking for a way to help and found REACH as a legitimate organization where they could reach out to the needs in the community to help them. And also, I think it's really important what happened with the cooperation of the churches and the unity that brought in the community.
So let me tell you about the first impact that REACH had on me. And that was before the word REACH even existed in our vocabulary. My wife and I attended John Wesley United Methodist Church. We were part of a group of church members that was concerned about poverty and about the homeless, knowing that there really wasn't a place for people to stay. And one midnight, my wife's elbow got me in the side, and that was the first impact of REACH. That elbow said we could use one of the buildings on our church property as a homeless shelter. Well, to make a long story short, we did not end up putting a homeless shelter on the grounds of John Wesley United Methodist, but John Wesley said, if you convene a group of faith leaders from this community and you come up with a solution, we will support you financially. Well, the Ministry of Reach has been supported financially by many, many organizations and churches beyond John Wesley, but it did start with that elbow in the side one evening in 1989.
The accomplishment of Reach that makes me most proud is the people who have come to Reach for help and are now living in permanent housing and have jobs that they can be self-sufficient, and they're happy to do that.
It's unbelievable what has been accomplished in terms of the amount of people that can be helped and supported, and the amount of change it has brought to the lives of the volunteers and the people they serve.
Reach has impacted me personally by giving me opportunities to be in service to my fellow human woman and man. The opportunity is one that Scripture calls me to be involved in, and it's an opportunity that allows me to draw closer to my God.